Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. It's Friday, September 16th, and like every Friday, I'm joined by the man they call the Iceman, Mr. Jesse Schule. Jesse, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Ross. Couldn't ask for a better start to football season. Really looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, so I'm looking over and we're going to have a couple NFL free picks for you on Sunday games. In a couple minutes, folks. So stay tuned. But before we get to that, a couple other things we want to discuss. I went over to picks and parlays, and I said, I got off to a pretty good start. Let me see where I rank. And 9-4 in college football, 5-2 in the NFL. Nice winner last night in the LA Chargers. Did you have the Chargers last night? I assume
I did have the Chargers, yeah.
So I'm off to a 9-4 start in college football, 5-2 in the NFL, 14-6 overall, 70%. And then I look at Jesse's record, 16-4 in the NFL and college football. So he's at 80%. So between the two of us, folks, this football season in the NFL, college football combined, what does that make? 30 and 10, 75%. You might want to invest some money in us. And better yet, go to Jesse's site at jesseschule.com. Nothing against the guys at Picks and Parlays. You can go there too as well, of course. And you can find me at rbwins.com. Jesse, one hell of a start, my friend.
I've been very fortunate, Ross. I've been on the right side of a lot of close games, let me tell you.
Yeah, well, when things go good, as you well know, we get those breaks. We get the Justin Herbert, who looked like he just got shot, throwing one on the dime 30 yards downfield on 4th and 2 to get us inside the 10. And then we get a third down touchdown pass with a little over a minute to go that gets us inside the number. Those are the kind of things that go your way when things are going good, as Jesse knows. And anybody.
I got a question for you, Ross.
Okay, go ahead.
Third down, Justin Herbert was wide open. All he had to do is take one step forward to get that first down.
Yeah.
He drops the ball like he got shot.
Yeah.
On the next play, he looked like nothing was wrong with him, and he threw like a 25-yard pass.
Yeah.
I was wondering if he was like playing dummy with them, like a rope-a-dope or something.
If he was playing dummy, he is a dummy, because if you don't make that perfect throw on 4th down, and it was a perfect throw, and it needed to be a perfect throw, Jesse, that he would have been called into question on that, because he just needed to take 2 steps and slide. I understand he was hurting. I get that, but that was just the weirdest play I ever saw in that situation. It's like after that play, I'm going, if that's all he's going to do, take him out of the game. And then what's he do? The next play, he makes a Hall of Fame throw over 2 defenders right on the money. Yeah,
that's why we watched the game. I'd never seen that before.
No, no, that was an oddity for sure. Anyway, Jesse, we already went over our records. Again, 16-4 for Jesse, college football, NFL combined. And again, folks, you can find Jesse at jesseschule.com. Myself, I'm only 14-6, pale in comparison to my buddy there. 70% college football, NFL. So anyway, folks, that's a lot of money we've made over the first week of the NFL, over the 2 weeks in college, for 3 weeks in college. Well, 2 weeks, because weeks
2.5.
2.5, whatever. Yeah. So in any event, a lot of money made by us two, and a pretty good damn win percentage. Combined 30-10 between the two of us in college football and the NFL. Anyway, folks, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a second to do so. Costs you absolutely nothing. There's no subscription plans. There's no contracts. We don't have a hidden agenda. We're giving you these picks free. We just hope when we keep winning with these free picks that you'll invest into us with our premium paid selections. I don't know why you wouldn't. I just gave you the records of both of us, for example, and the other guys on the site. I'm not going to say they're doing just as well, but they're capable of doing just as well. So a lot of good handicappers on the site besides just me and Jesse. Once you subscribe, just click on the notification bell, and you'll be alerted right away when any of our Winner's Circle sports betting podcasts go up on this channel. It's going to be a great football season. We're off to a great start. And again, folks, don't forget to give us a like at the end of each video. It's an encouraging sign, and it makes us feel appreciated because we are doing it for free. Anyway, Jesse, what do you got? I know you're assigned to Carolina and the New York Giants game right now. The Giants -2, and the total, I believe, is 43.5. Giants coming off a big upset win at Tennessee last week, and I had them as a 10-star top play, by the way, folks, as they win 20-19 as a 6 or 21-20, a 1-point win as a 5.5-point underdog. And also the Carolina Panthers lose a heartbreaker, Jesse. Cleveland kicks a 54-yard field goal with no time left on the clock to win that game by 2 points. So heartbreaking loss for Carolina. How do they rebound, and how do the Giants do in their home opener after an upset win? The floor is yours.
Well, Ross, how about this? I'm not just going to tell you who I like, but I'm going to tell you why I like them and how I come to my conclusion. I watched your show with Al the other day, and I listened to you guys talk about the different styles of handicapping, situational handicapping, fundamental and technical handicapping, and I found it quite interesting. My style is a little bit of everything. It's basically like you can think of it like a giant pros and cons list.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look at all those three angles. I'm going to look at the situational. I'm going to look at the fundamental. I'm going to look at the matchups. I'm going to look at the technical side of it, and I'm going to tick boxes and see how many boxes I can tick on each side. And when it weighs heavily on one side, that's going to encourage me to play the game. So if you look at this particular matchup between Carolina and New York, of course, the Giants winning on the road as almost a touchdown underdog. You could say they would be due for a letdown after an upset win, if that's the way you choose to look at it. Me personally, when I look at a team like Carolina losing at home in the final second on a 58-yard field goal, I think that is an emotional letdown as well. I don't like betting on teams that are coming off losses like that. So I'd say that those two angles sort of cancel each other out. But before the season started, I had pegged the Giants as an improved team. I expected them to be better. I also had the Giants last week, so it wasn't a surprising result to me. That's another angle. In week 2 of the NFL, you're looking to avoid overreacting to week 1's results. But the way I look at things, if the week 1 results confirm what you already thought about a team, you're not overreacting. You're not reacting at all. If you felt the Giants were going to be an improved team, they go on the road and they upset the Titans, and you're backing the Giants again this week. That's not overreacting. That's just following through with your preconceived conviction. I like the way that. I really like the way that Saquon Barkley played. I think he went over 200 all-purpose yards. It is a contract year for Saquon. As he goes, the Giants will likely go. Daniel Jones was okay. I mean, he turned the ball over. He did fumble. He did throw an interception, but he did enough to help the Giants win. I look on the other side, Carolina, Baker Mayfield looked very much like the Baker Mayfield we saw in Cleveland. He played well enough for Carolina to win, but of course they came up short. But the biggest concern about Carolina is Christian McCaffrey, a real lack of production from him. 33 yards on 10 carries, 4 receptions for just 24 yards. If they can't get him involved more in the offense, they're really going to struggle. It is a short line. The Giants are at home. The Giants showed us more in week 1. I'd have to lean toward the Giants at this number.
Yeah, well, the Giants -2. Let me ask you a question, Jesse. When you get a -1, -1.5, -2, even 2.5 or less as a favorite, do you tend to? I like to go on the money line at that point, because normally within that point spread parameter, the money lines, you're not going to be asked to lay an enormous amount of juice. Is that something you like to do, or do you just stick with the standard plan of betting the 110 to win 100 at the number?
You're preaching to the choir, Ross. I'm a big money line guy. I don't get too out of control with it, but anytime you get a chance to eliminate the possibility of losing by that half point, I think you really want to take a look at doing that. So absolutely, I would say 99% of the time, I'm betting a 2-point favorite on the money line.
Okay, so you did give out the Giants, and I'm assuming you would recommend to the viewers to use the money line instead of the point spread. Even though you still think they'll cover at -2, you want to eliminate that push or winning by 1 and losing your bet.
Absolutely. And this particular game really sort of looks like the kind of game
Yeah.
you could see being decided by 1 or 2 points as well.
Yeah, and you made a good point. We both like the Giants to improve this year. As a matter of fact, I picked them as a sleeper to win the NFC East because, especially now with no Dak Prescott for a extended period of time, you have to believe that's a wide open division. I don't know if you could have considered it a wide open division even with Dak Prescott, but any of those 4 teams can win that division. I would have to say right now, Philly's the front runner, but I have a hard time getting behind a team like Philadelphia that gave up 200 yards on the ground against Detroit and somehow escaped with a win 38-35. They did rush for over 200 yards as well. But yeah, getting back, I'm getting a little off track here. Is the fact that we like the Giants to be an improved team. Well, if you like them to be an improved team and exceed their regular season win total projection, this is a winnable game. This is home. This is a home opener. You better like the Giants, right? So anyway, Jesse Schule recommends the Giants on the money line or the Giants -2, whichever. A lot of you might not be able to get a money line with your local guy. Again, folks, if you're dealing with a local guy, reach in your pocket and deposit some money into a legal account in the United States and eliminate all the baloney and the restrictions and what else they pull on you with local guys. Nothing against those guys. They make their own rules. They change their rules as they go along, and you're much better suited dealing with a legal sports book. Anyway, let me get to my game. And I know you have an opinion on this game, and we're on opposite sides. So here's what I got. In the Indianapolis and Jacksonville game that goes at 1 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday, September 18th. Indy right now is a 3.5-point favorite, and there's a total of 45 in this game. Jesse, I was very shocked, and I'm going to say this, and I want to hear your reply to that, but I was very shocked to find out that Jacksonville has gone 6-0 straight up in ATS in their last 6 at home versus Indianapolis. And this is an Indianapolis team that's been pretty good on the road over the years, especially in division road games, even though they really laid an egg last week in a 2020 tie with Houston as a 7-point favorite. Were you aware of that?
I was aware of that, yeah, and I do find it shocking and a little concerning if you like the Colts as I do.
Okay, now that you showed your hand. And out of those 6 straight wins and covers over the Colts at home, it included last year when they won 26-11 as a 14-point home underdog in a regular season finale against Indianapolis, ultimately knocking the Colts out of the playoffs, meaning they didn't qualify for the playoffs because of that. All they had to do was beat Jacksonville as a 14-point favorite, win it outright, and you're in the playoffs and you lay an egg there. Again, Indianapolis last week, 20-20 tie with the Houston Texans. And they did, 7-point favorite. They didn't come close to covering that game. They were never covering that game. As a matter of fact, they were lucky to get the tie. But then again, you look inside the numbers, and I know Jesse's looking at this. Indianapolis did outgain the Texans in that game, 517-299. Somehow came up with a 2020 tie. And there seems to be a lot of that going on with the Colts in recent seasons where you scratch your head. They look like one of the best teams in the AFC. and top 10 teams in the NFL, and then they lay an egg like they did against Houston last week. And, I look at my trusted 4D handicapping software. Me and El talked about this the other day. We both are in possession of such. Teams coming off a tie in the NFL. How about this, Jesse? Teams coming off a tie are 1-17 straight up since 1988 in the following game. And that includes 0-5 straight up in ATS as a pick or favorite, like Indianapolis is. Wow. Jacksonville, on the other hand, 28-22 loss at Washington last week. A game they probably deserved a better fate. Not only they lost, they didn't cover, and boy, oh boy, they had 383 yards of total offense in that game, plus 2 turnover differential. And here's what the head scratcher is, Jesse. They ran for 123 yards against Washington, but they only ran the ball 23 times. So they averaged 6.8 yards per carry. 16 times, excuse me. So I look for a little more heavier dose of the running game for Jacksonville and for them to be more balanced to make Trevor Lawrence's life a little easier. Look, I'm not going to call for the outright upset, but I do think this is a game that goes right down to the wire, and I would not be shocked to see Jacksonville pull this off like they've done the last 6 times at home against Indianapolis. I'm going to take Jacksonville plus the 3.5 in their home opener over the Indianapolis Colts. Your thoughts, Jesse?
Well, that stat about teams coming off of a tie is even more concerning for me. And I guess one of the reasons why I do like the Colts this week again is I preseason I did pick the Colts to win the division. I picked the Colts as a dark horse to possibly win it all with Matt Ryan. And I'm trying not to overreact to the week 1 results. I look at that box score, look at the fact that they outgained the Texans, and think that they should be able to do better if things work out differently this week. But yeah, there's plenty of reason not to like the Colts this week as well. I can certainly see
it just, to me, they seem to play down to the competition and play up to the competition. I mean, last year they came to Buffalo and just blew the doors off the Bills, and we know the Bills are a good team. Were last year and are this year. And you think, oh boy, as a Buffalo fan, we don't want to see Indianapolis in the postseason. And then, like I said, the opposite side of the spectrum is in the regular season finale, sitting there with a 9-7 record, which I thought was underachieving even at that point. They drop a decision to Jacksonville on the road as a 14-point favorite. So they're a mind-boggling team. And I can understand if you're a Colts fan, this team could, they could make you pull your hair out because of everything we just mentioned. Anyway, Jesse, what do you got going on this weekend, buddy?
I've got 3 college football plays posted for tomorrow, and I have 3 NFL plays posted for Sunday. I might be adding more. I've been doing so well. I don't want to take too many risks this weekend. I feel like I've used up all my luck, Ross, and I want to avoid overtime because I can't possibly win another overtime game, can I?
Yeah. I mean, not for nothing, but folks, I had Pittsburgh last week as a 6.5 point underdog is in college football against Tennessee. It was, and I went 5-2 last week in college football, but I lost that game because Tennessee won by 7 in overtime. Thus, me not covering by 0.5 point. And on the other flip side of the coin, that's what Jesse was talking about. When things go good, you get those breaks. I didn't get the break he did. My hat's off to you, my friend. Anyway, Jesse's got 3 college football, some NFL. Is that right? 3 or 4 college football on Saturday.
3 so far. I might add 1 or 2 depending on some line movements.
You can find him at jesseschule.com. That's jesseschule.com, just the way his name is spelled. And for those of you who have trouble with his last name, it's Schule. So jesseschule.com. Folks, let me tell you something. I consider myself an elite sports handicapper, and this guy on the other side of me is a tremendous handicapper as well. I mean, he's always near or at the top of the leaderboards on a consistent basis, and you'll be well advised to invest some money in his picks. He'll put money in your pocket over the long haul, folks. We all have our bad weeks. So if you're going to jump ship every time a good handicapper has a bad week, you're never going to win money. So you could find me at rbwins.com. That's rbwins.com. Right now, I have tonight's game between Florida State and Louisville. I have the winning side posted in that game. I have 4 college football picks up for tomorrow, including a 10-star top play on the Mississippi State and LSU game. And the NFL I haven't posted yet, but it will be up by later today. And looking like around 5 picks in the NFL this week. And then Monday night, we have 2 games on Monday, Jesse. 2 games.
And I think you already tipped your hand on who you like in one of them.
Not so fast, my friend. Anyway, folks, if you go to my website, rbwins.com, you'll get a $100 sign-up bonus. No, I'm not going to send you $100. We'll just put $100 in your account, and you could use it toward any future purchases. That's if you have not registered there before. If you have, you could take solace in knowing if you purchase any daily multi-game or single game package from me, I guarantee that you make a profit or win. Or if that's not the case, I will credit your account back the exact amount of your purchase price. Doesn't get any easier than that. And for the subscription plans, 7-day, 30-day packages, if you're not making a profit when your expiration date comes up, I will extend your package until you're in the black. That's my commitment to you. Doesn't get any easier than that. You try to take a lot of the risk out involved. It's just a matter of you making the purchase and staying disciplined and patient. I will make you money. And so will that guy on the other side of me. Again, jesseschule.com, rbwins.com. Jesse, I will talk to you on Monday when we do a show on Sports Memo with Joey D'Amico. And we're back here next Friday working together. So I look forward to that. And for Jesse Schule and Ross Benjamin, I'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Take care and God bless, folks.